Okay. Also, are you come back? And I hope there is. And also, now like kind of the another defects in the human realms we are going to research. And also I have some questions. It's a wonderfully, our retreat is almost like a kind of overcoming. But according to our text is not really approach of the end. There's still page left. And probably you received the announcement. We a little bit few days to extend it. And also I'm feeling if at the moment everybody, I don't know, someone's maybe working outside, maybe someone is working at home, and maybe it's like a kind of still you need to at home. And would you like to maybe a little bit more extend the date? If you like this, then it's maybe everybody need to send. Then we can go to slowly process, it's no problem. And I think organizations already send you message to maybe, we can to say it's like kind of the deadline. And maybe after the 1 week, something like this. And but of course, I'm like a little bit slowly because I all the time jep. Just before the questions, like urging, want to teach Dharma. And like this. But anyway, that's I'm just to tell you what would you like. And then it's like before we start the questions, there's many questions, but we continue to a little to start. Now that this you have the book 4.3, other human sufferings. Which kind of sufferings? This is like the 4.341, the fear of the meeting hated enemies. It is like when you have some enemy, dislike, you hate it. Maybe it's like something. They all the time it's like kind of a front there is. You don't want to meet, but all the time be there. And sometimes also in the Dharma practitioners, it's like this. It is even our noble sanghas there are, Someone's very much provocative, someone's very aggressive, and they are like a difficult goes together, but they're all the time meeting. They go to listen to teaching, they go to eat together, they are almost at the butt. Looks like they are enemy each other. And then it's like you meet this, then you have a kind of the hesitation. And these persons, why to pierce, appear to front of the me? That is terrible. And of course, if really we have enemies, and that is also sometimes, all the times to meet is not very good. And there means it's like meeting hated enemies. We would spend all our time looking after our wealth and properties. Of course, and our properties, we are looking. Why is like a kind of we have had enemy? Why someone's to become angry? Because of the wealth, because of the property. Property, what do you have property? Whatever you belonging use, or common, this kind of like argumentation, disagreement, you ate too much, I didn't eat, you doing like this, I didn't done like this, I didn't do nothing, but you are angry. Or you done like this. You even went to toilet. You make big. I am sometimes this kind of nonsense angry. And that is, I think, is not very good. If we follow the Buddha Dharma, we should to understand others' situation. And also we cannot to provoke. And when you are aware of the movement, when you are talking and thinking, everything's to correct. Not just we say it's like without thinking, like a random actions, random say something, then to hurting to the others. You know, it's like sometimes in the Tibetan communities now, there is someone said something the holiness. It's like almost a war. One words. They are kind of the says, okay, come out. We want to fight. And then there's like one word, small word, is damaged. And therefore, it's when you say whatever coming out, whatever you come into, arise into your heart, never bring out. It's damage. And whatever you are movement things, a randomly movement, without mindfulness, without, vigilation, the vigilant, without, this like, how do you call another one there is? Introspections, yes, that's introspection. These three things without that, then you just random say, whatever I have question, whatever I want to say. Doesn't matter. Matter later is big problems. Then is one, we have enemies, how much we are suffering. It's the truth. One person is like kind of the become all the times angry to us, how much we are uncomfortable. If we are angry to others, also that much uncomfortable. Therefore we say it's the suffering of the meat hated enemies. This comes from the wealth, property, and then there is like mount guide over and day and night. And because it's like wealth, we are guide and taking care day and night. Someone's touch, someone's doing things. If this is mine, not yours, I would to be there. You cannot to touch that. This kind of we should to change. Very, very important. It's like kind of if there's no enemies, very happy. And sometimes okay, we are coward, but doesn't matter. No enemy. And it's like something there's a run away. Very gentle, very humble, and no enemy. You are the Buddha, Bodhisattva. You are great practitioner. But you strong and tied to others to say harsh word, competition, hatred, and then it's what is the Dharma? Very sorry. Someone is to say it's like I cannot manage. I can't manage. What can I do? Nothing. Even the Buddhas appear is like kind of what can do. You don't change you. You change yourself 100%. We can't. That is absolute. I give you guarantee. If you don't need to change, you say I cannot change nothing. My anger, my hatred. Here is talking about hatred, and then it's the follow the lamas useless. I would to say absolutely to follow the practice dharma useless. And to something absolutely, then what? We cannot to control the hatred. Hatred is sometimes coming. It's naturally occurring. Of course, everybody has. For example, says once holiness. Someone asked to holiness, holiness, are you angry? He said, yes, I'm angry sometimes. Because I'm not angry, then I'm handicapped. I'm angry, but this anger is not much to keep, not damage. Anger is arise, Then look at anger, never to look at these enemies. To anger is kind of the holding, and anger is naturally there's liberations. Sometimes beginning anger is making fresh mind. Anger and hatred is new, and like kind of the transparent the mind. But you look at the anger itself, and then there's such a great path. And last time, Dzogchen, he says, how we can to practice thought liberations, he questions. Like this, hatred, desire, jealousy is coming, to look at itself to more. And then it's like possible. Sometimes if you cannot control, really very, and you can to talk your friend, Dharma friend, say, complain. After, you cannot to keep. If you keep, you lose Bodhisattva vows. I'm telling the truth. This person I don't want to help. This person is like, I don't talk. This person is I'm hated. Never you kick out from your heart. You haven't got any Bodhisattva vows finished. Sorry. Maybe you say it's like, okay, then I cannot to practice. True. If you practice Dharma or not practice, that is the truth. For example, if you can to say is you make a seed in the ground, and this seed is like you put some horrible manuals, then it's like you're happy or not happy, it doesn't grow up. And then what you do? You want to say, yeah, okay, doesn't grow up. Or you want to grow up. And this is like our own choice. Therefore, sometimes we have a hatred, courting the wealth, property, to taking care every day, night, and working with them. Then we have sometimes, some is like a provocative way coming. But according to Dharma, first time try to control. Second, cannot control. You need to express. You can to express, to say, I'm angry with tears. After you become like kind of anger is gone, say, sorry, I never keep. Sorry is the best, Other one is Dhamma practitioners. Forgiveness, if this person not angry, also both benefit. Mahatma Gandhi says like, oh Mahatma Gandhi, you should to learn how to give forgiveness. I don't need practice forgiveness. Why? Because I haven't got any enemies. From the heart. And like this, when it's the first time maybe you express anger, okay, why not? I told you before, one lady said it's like, sometimes very angry with her husband. And their husband said, darling, why your problems? You are so much complain, angry, and like kind of short. Yes, if I'm not shouting you, if I'm not complaining you, if I'm not showing my expression, anger, emotions, who can I show? Afterwards, she completely forget it. Say sorry, it's like this emotion. Then there's no left, no trace. It's wonderful. Therefore, we should to take care this hatred. It is suffering. He is talking about fear of the meeting, hatred. This is the fear of the meeting, hatred. Enemies. Enemy is a small enemy, like kind of you a little bit disagreement, your conversation. Middle enemy, maybe you beat it a little bit. Maybe it's a conversation. Big enemy, maybe you killed each other, your families. There's many different type of the enemies. Beginning to like kind of to make to try it. Once Dzogchen Rinpoche is told to me, absolutely. Once is my young brother, he's a big problem. He's some first relative. They have argued big kind of making war. And then I asked Rinpoche, can you pray? So I don't need to pray. You should tell to your brother your side to say whatever they need, give to giveness. Why you argue? Tell to him. Say, he said, I'm doing like it's truth. For example, I want to say his story. Shaji Zankaram, he worked in London 7 or 8 years working with the dictionary. In the university in London, there's Oxford University. There is like kind of one apartment, like kind of the like translation or like a dictionary, some apartment. There's one priest, sorry to say, one guy. He worked with Dzogchen Rinpoche. He many years works, and then maybe he wanted to put his name when they need publish. And then is of course half is Rinpoche's living in Chinese office. Their little disagreement, he was kind of angry with Rinpoche. He kicked out it, and he all the Rinpoche's workers 7 years almost took everything possible to publish. First book Lucky in like in China in the office, his office, we published. We have now. And that one is like but half completely gone. Many years. Someone says like, it's just very important. We are angry. We need to go to talk to this guy, to court. He said never, ever. Okay, he give to really to some. Maybe some is like other. Some lamas go to there. Very kindly ask to begging pay. If he give, not give, forget it. Live like this. If we lost completely Rinpoche's this book, second book, how many he worked by hand. I was there every day. He's translating and to make it by hand. And the Bodhisattva is like this. He just to make them. Of course, if we are normalists, there's a big kind of the argumentations coming. This dictionary is not only the for Zenkaram, whole in Tibetan education department, they are needed. He took, and then they later, many years, 4 or 5 years after, why you took like give to us? He said, I deleted. We don't know he deleted or not. But also myself, I said, I want to send email Rinpoche. I need to talk this person. He said, shut up. Don't need to talk. Don't disturb to him. Like this, it's like your side to correct, your side to control the hatred or this. Then there's not many enemy. No enemy, how much happy, really happy. If no enemies, for me, it's very happy. But sometimes, what can we do? But we don't need to react to be humbled. They automatically disappeared. We would spend this guardian every day and night. But even that would not prevent us from eventually having share it with our enemies. Of course, sometimes we make enemies in order to collect wealth, position, and perpetuate everything. And we guardian, and like day and night, lot of two. But finally, sometimes it's like enemies to take away. It's nothing benefit for us. We need to share with your enemies, which kind of there is just like this. Of course, like kind of there are such kind of strong enemies. Brigands by day, maybe during the big kind of the robbers. Look, sometimes it's gangsters in the robber in the banks. Doesn't matter police or armies. They coming and they can kill in the bank, the keepers. They take billions, trillions. This kind of our small things, of course. And there is like this. And it's many kind of possible. And the burglars by night, wood, dog, wolves. For example, dogs sometimes this is wild dogs. Actually, it's not wild. Okay, you can't say it. Like here it says like gingola, dingo. It's the dingo and this sort of like wild duck. And the wolves, they like kind of kill the cattle, animals. And very strange kind of, how do you say, is animals, dingoes and wolves. They like kill animal, they don't eat, they continue kill. And sometimes in Tibet, during the night, the wolf come take away the piece like a month of the sheep. They until they finish it, they kill continue. Some other animals, for example, lions, tigers, sometimes they kill, they eat this one, only one. And when they feel the stomach, they don't much kill. But like wild dog, dingoes, and wolf. And then sometimes also, this is also enemy. And this is enemy for the nomads, very much angry. For example, if you are owner of the sheep, it's often this kind of the animals coming, then they like and they want to kill. And this is also sometimes often to they meet this kind of enemies, according to the wealth, positions, belongings. Other like the fierce animals can all descend on our without warning. This kind of sometimes we don't want it, but and certainly without kind of the sending message, and certainly coming, everything is like kind of take away. For example, these days it's very rare. Some ancient times, some is a different village. Some villages like kind of grow up okay, everything's nice. Certainly gangsters coming and to rob, they kill all the people, burn all the city, and take everything. So just one moment they make empty, without sending message. There's without warning, like this. It's happened. That is like kind of how we meet hated enemies. Obviously, the more wealth and more property we have, the more trouble it takes to acquire it. And protect it, try to increase it. And here is like kind of, we can to say it's like there is when we have the enemies, hated persons, we are according to our wealth and positions, belongings, things, properties, wealth. And why it is like kind of the we can to say it's like problems, because when we have the wealth, properties, we need to taking care. First, masking or masking. Amassing, yes. You need to amassing, collect, searching so much, and need to put effort. And it's very much, it is the truth. When I have some a little money once, first times iPhone came. And there's one, this iPad like kind of stole department, iPhone or iPad or the Apple stalls. And I went to theirs, I saw this like one iPhone, wow, so nice. But I cannot buy. And then it's like every day I need to go to there, checking, touching. One day this shopkeeper said, you have it coming, would you like to buy or not? I'm thinking, really inside I cannot. And then I need to save money. And there's a little bit I have, I run to there. It's like few months. And then run to theirs, I want to buy. But they say, sorry, sold out. Then when they, would you like to order? I said, no, I don't want to order. I need 1 month or 2 months. And then I bought another place. And of course, when you got that one, now forever my happiness. No, need to require its protectors. Then I need to glass front, back side, and protect how much I need to take care. And also I need to increase. I need to go to the upper, this, how do you say, the application. You need to download this app. And then it's like there is increasement. You need to increase. You need which kind of application, this, that. I was very happily go to internet, Mr. Google, I need this application. Yeah. You put it your bank account, your everything. Why? Without that, cannot increase. And then I need to this bank number, everything. Each application is nothing, 10, 20 euro, 30 euro. Because forever, one buy application inside, and then there's you bought this application, but you need another application, support this one. And I bought second one, on the second one, so you need another application. Then increase is endless. And like this is just example, whatever we have properties, and like kind of wealth is a terrible things they require. It's true. Then during the massing times, or to mass collect times, how much we argue with people, and really is how it is once really serious. And I'm saying, I want to buy cowboy hat in Tibetan. One person asked me, can you buy this? In Brussels, there is like kind of American shop, cowboy hat. I went to there, and I saw which is your most expensive. He said this one, 700, 1,000 euro. So expensive. Do you have discounts? No, please go away. Why? You looks like Tibetans. Yes, I'm Tibetan. I never ever said to you. So why? Because Tibetan people are very strange. Every day they come into here is bogging in my heart. And then you are making businesses. Yes, I'm business, but I don't want to. You pay, you don't pay, go away. And then I said this, I'm very sorry, but Tibetan people are not rich same as you. And they also need to, you business, their business. Why you say like this is, I don't like to bark and like candles. And then I says, but he said this, no, don't talk, go away. Provoked, become enemy. And like kind of, I cannot go again. If go again, he said, go away. And like this kind of, and you barging, and then the people angry, automatic. If you want to pay, you have a strangeness your money. In Europe, sometimes we have this kind of no system, okay? That's nice. Many people say, whatever you put price, they pay, they go. But in Asia, it's like, of course, many poor countries, like maybe selling chicken, maybe 10 euro, they put 50 euro. And then you boggle candle. Yeah, no problem. I will sell you the 20 euro. Here earn 10 euro, this poverty. And they have this kind of tricky. And also buyers, you can to borg as much as you. They finally almost you tired, but still bogging. And like this, how you can collect it to like this. And second, of course, the wealth, these things need to protect, require. And as much as you have, that much you need to protect. And then afterward, we also look, it's like kind of the thinking. It's like, we come to say, one person's I heard, and he said almost one life, this person's life has almost reaching 100,000 the Europe. And then there's one person says, there's big companies. Would you like to put there? Then your money is like increase, like kind of, this company is going very well. And then your money is like very fast development, investigate, or how do you say, investment. And then it's like this lady this person, I don't want this lady, person was very happy and put it, but the bank is bankrupt. And finally, was almost nothing received to back. And like this, to try to make the increase, sometimes lost everything. Then how much you have. Anyway, then it's an argument. Even that I think is serious truth in Poland. You can to ask our Buddha. I heard there is one bank, fake bank. You put inside the bank, you have like kind of lot of interest. There are many purposes. You can put 100, 200, 1,000, but this kind of amount of the periods, month, half a year, 1 year, if you put there, then you can to go back almost a double. Looks like legalized. Many people put, and then some certainly newspaper. This bank is fake bank, and it's like kind of mafia says. Then certainly they run to check. Bank is gone. Nothing there is left. Everybody is lost. And there is bank in this company's bank people who is beginning many people collected. This which one is? Like this kind of sometimes when we increase make kind of the invest, I don't know, and sometimes like this. This is comes from. Then you have lot of enemies, like this. There is a Nagarjuna right says okay write it. Or there is amazing wealth, watching over it making it grow well. Your wear you out. This means like your belonging, property, wealth. First, you need to amassing wealth. Second, you need to watching, protect over again and again, day and night. Then making it the grow well and wear you out. And this is wear you out means you are tired. It is the truth. You to taking care of your belonging. These things is finally you exhaust yourself. Understand that rich bring unending ruin and destructions. And now it's like Nagarjuna said, I understood that is like kind of the wealth is ruin. And all the times make the destructions. Maybe that is true. He was like the princess on small like land kingdom, one king's son. He's almost very much similarity of the Buddha's story, how he become the like Nagarjuna's great masters. And also it's like beginning he was lucky things, and when he born and there's like some says like he cannot survive at least 1 year, he died. And then the parents was so much afraid. They asked to some like maybe fortune telling someone. And they say maybe he become monk, then maybe better. Then they brought into the Nalanda University. And then it's like he met there something. And then it's the parents took there. And then it's he become monk. And of course, after he studied all the Buddha's teachings, very famous, then he returned back. He's almost deathless. Someone said Nagarjuna was it's like 500 years. But anyway, it is like he was maybe king. He understood wealth is not really wealthy. And what is the wealthy? Practice generate compassion, tolerant, kindness, cheerful mind. Do you know the cheerful mind? Can you show the sign? Oh, no, this is arrogant. I ask someone cheerful, show me this. No. Cheerful means okay, nice, no problem. Let's do something. Would you like a cup of tea? This is artificial. But maybe something like this. Cheerful means everything's going well, never complain, and support to your family, friend, very much compassionate, kindness. Opposite of the cheerful means whatever you do, all the times complain, all the times angry, depressed, something like this. And this kind of, also just a Malaripa, there is no tombo doje yema bo chotson yo chon Chokyi met parda sanin de pichin gave hyosa toma po dande ninja yarmo ya rongi safa ma ye hyu Tamasoki datayon dabu norte semlazi. Korbulo do poaya dajengo korte ngamandus. That's Malaripa's very nice, he says. What he says like this. What am I saying? Am I saying Malaripa's quotation advice? In the beginning, wealth make you happy and envied. Yes, I have iPhone. Very happy. And also envious. The kind of the I have, I'm showing you. Proud, arrogance. Afterwards, but however much you have, it never seems enough. It's as me, just a little bit. There's a second iPhone. Neat. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Now I think it's the 10th. Now I'm completely fed up and less. Whatever you maybe put, one is iPhone here, one is here, one is here. Still searching iPhones. Reality, one ear, listened. And this is everybody like this. Sometimes collect so much, never ever have satisfied. Whatever we have, more and more hungry, demand. I don't know this word, demand. Demands. Okay, no. In the middle, miserlessness. Tightness is not around you. See. Maliceness, stinginess is big rope, You collect a lot of nice, but the stinginess is big rope, tidy up. You cannot move. Not, it's everywhere you're around. Depression, anxieties. Maybe I will become the poor. I cannot eat. Maybe today whole day need small pizzas like this. This is in the morning. This is lunch. And look at the bank. I have trillion. This kind of, this maliceness tightens, is knots around you. You can't bear to spend it offering or charities. Never. And it's true, sometimes we have in Europe how many rich, enormous rich. Those riches has so strong, like a kind of rope of the maliceness. They never kind of course, offering, forget it. But they never almost charities to make. When we look, most of the poor people, they want to donate to the charity, try to voluntarily do it. And that's wonderful. This is like our nature sometimes like this. Charity means to help to others. Maybe you don't need to huge help. Absolutely. For example, Patrul Rinpoche said it's like, if you have 100 euro, maybe you can to do something for the generosities. 1 euro. 99 you need to keep yourself. That is obvious. But the 1 euro benefit for you. Maybe to donate for the charity, maybe to do something wonderful. And like this. I mean, sometimes I'm very much stinginess. To 1 euro to change, I have like 5 cents. 5 cents is I have 20 small red coin. When I go to someone, I'm giving. Someone is hated. You give me this one. Yes, that is I can do. I haven't got stinginess. This is like 5 cents. Of course, other person nothing. But if this person collect many 5 cents, maybe it's got one person's. But for our perspective, it's 5 cents, nothing. But okay, we can to kind of doing something. And like this, maybe it's like a little bit too much tied up by this maliceness, stinginess, and then we already studied. This make a cause of the hungry ghost animals. Your wealth attacks, attract enemies. And the negative force is truth. As much as you become rich, wealthy, and all the time is this wealthy, you are not an attractive person. You are not kind of the kindness. People maybe hated you, but you have very much things, rich or something. And then it's like things, like kind of the attractive. You are good. You are good. Why say? They are concerning your belonging. And also it's like kind of the enemies. Maybe enemies coming to you, and I'm just telling to kind of his stories. There's few robbers went to one place, and certainly some travelers came. He has many yaks and many bags carrying like this, tea or barley, something. And one person says, like, how is this person? I want to go to their checks. And he certainly appeared in the front of this business guy and said, hey, how are you? Other one said, I'm okay. Who you are? How are you? Yeah. You don't recognize me? We met, blah, 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 blah. He said, no, I don't remember. You are very bad friend. We met, you do not. And then he's a little bit believed that. But these enemies checking how it is, how we can to rob you, how we can to be against. And everything is like kind of the spy that took, and he come back. And even he come back, he's so much cheat, manipulate voice, talk. And he say, yeah, okay. And he gives some present, but they never met each other. And come back, and then his others like hiding behind. What you did? I talk, we become good friend. And he gave me present. He's just, of course, we never met. I'd say something. So he believed that. We can tonight easily to rob. That night, they robbed this person, everything. And then it's like later on, is someone they telling to the, then this is the enemies. This is negative force. When you have wealth, you collect. Finally, your collectors become charming, attacked for your enemy, for your negative force. It's truth. Many like kind of account, rich people's account the enemy or robber, gangsters, burglars. And everything you gathered gets used up by the others. You collect many things, amassing things. Finally, you present to your enemy, others. In the end, wealth is like the demon that put your life in a danger. And of course, maybe sometimes you chase after the wealth thing. Someone's take, or someone's a robot, someone did something. You try to run after, maybe they kill you, and very dangerous. Maybe it's like even some very, very, very much to put court, argue, dangerous. And how like kind of the frustrating to just to look after wealth and for your enemies. And you are like kind of the enemy's wealth. You look after how much you are tired. And this, in this perspective, Malad say, I'm frustrated, hated. Why I need to give? Then he ran almost nakedly in the mountain. And therefore says, I have cast of this millstone which drag us down into the samsara. And this kind of collecting, protecting, and increasing, this kind of doing wealth and properties is a really millstone. For example, ancient times sometimes do the millstone means someone want to kill, like in the water, to put in like a heavy stone, neck, and then they put in the water. Of course, this person's like dragging into the deep of the water, they die. Like this kind of you doing a lot of negative activities, this negative action is become the millstone. and in the neck, and there is dragging us into the deep of the samsara lower realms. Therefore, he said, just Malaripa, I want to know more of this, like kind of the devil, loser, cheater, or it's like kind of the ghost cheating things. Don't want it. Our suffering are the direct proportion to the existence of our positions. Whatever we have the proportion of the wealth, positions, and extend that kind of the size of the sufferings. The extension of our position, like amount of that, we have the sufferings. Its meaning is like this. For example, for instance, if you own a horse, you would worried about size of the horse. That might become carried off by on enemies. Like horse, one you have, which kind of you have suffering, worried. Maybe it's like my horse. I have a wonderful horse. Maybe it's elegant. It's like a famous. You need to taking care of maybe some enemies, a robot. Many like kind of the burglars or the gangsters, they rob the horse. Maybe stolen or maybe thieved. Then you worried very much, and like the worried is the more size than your horse. You would wonder whether it had all the hay means it's like during the day you need to think about the horse food, horse drink, and you need to bring into the grassland. You need to bring into the tea. Horse never drink tea, but water. Yes, horse sometimes eat tea, very good. If you give tea leaves, a horse is wonderful. And therefore I'm saying horse drink tea. And it's needed so many things and so on. Just on a horse bring the plenty of the trouble and the sufferings. Same as the ways, if you own and sheep, you would have on sheep's worth of the trouble, more than the size of the sufferings. And if all you had, as the big of the tea, also same as like this, would still be sure of the having a bag of the tea's worth of the troubles. Maybe you have the sack of the tea. Also you need to first to collect, and middle you need to protect, and you need to create, and you need to care for, and this size of the sack, you also have trouble, sufferings. Then they said, so reflect and meditate on how important it is to live in peace and in our lives. And the following the old age, without wealth, there are no enemies. If there is no enemies, and also it's like you are like kind of no kind of wealth positions, lesser enemy, then it's like you are not worried to meet hated person. And like this. Inspire yourself with the story of the Buddhas of the past and uproot all your attachment to money and properties. Uproot your attachment or craving and dissatisfaction to the money, to the properties, to the belongings. And everything's to give up, says not need to give up, to may choose, most to think about the Buddha Dharma, to practice, and like a kind of the compassion, kindness, then lesser enemies, you lesser suffering of to meeting hated enemies. That is like this. Okay, now you have questions? Yes. And this I'm just to tell you, if we can to extend everybody's to their send message to organizations 1 week or 5 days precisely, okay? Later organizations can tell me. You said 1 week or? Okay, normally our program finish it like tomorrow? Tomorrow is first, yes? Okay, tomorrow is like even if we are normally finished. How much? I'm not sure we not finish it. And then is maybe we can to slowly to study after we start tomorrow. It's like we extended 1 week. Then I will divide it, my book to 8 weeks. Then afterward, I didn't say, maybe say or not, I don't know, organization here sending to you. Maybe it's like immediately we don't need to start. Probably I would say 1 week or 10 days we can to stop to study other things. And then it's like I will to quickly choose which book for the first Sheda. Okay, maybe if you kindly give me 10 days. If you not kindly, 1 week to rest. And then we can to prepare, because it's our lots of us also, they need to prepare. Thanks, everybody's lots of us putting effort. And also this year's, I'm not going to choose very strange, high teaching something. Also, I'm very stupid. I'm choosing some, it's like based, maybe some like Buddha's teaching. And during the Sheda, it's like this 3 cycles Sheda. I will, maybe it's possible. If I'm not sick, I will continue, and like the webcast, and also you can, whoever want to listen, it doesn't matter, and like this is, maybe we can open Sheda through the webcast. Okay, okay. Now your questions.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Philip Pond has one question. What are some changes we could see in our attitude and perception that should encourage us about our practice, and how can we build on these changes?
That we need to look at our own self, how much we become more kind and compassionate, good-hearted, cheerful. And also we need to check, whoever be with you, doesn't matter your family, your friend, and your companion, any kind of, do they happy with you? And also they respect to you more or not? If they don't respect not very much to you, and you become like inside, when we look at ourselves, maybe there's something is like rich, beautiful, successful, more jealousy, you want to more criticize, you have more charities. If you like this, then you study Dharma is not very good. You should do more to check your minds. And also in the perceptions, when you changing the compassions, and thanks kind of whatever you have perceived, is like kind of sympathetic towards to you. If someone's make mistake or aggressive to you, through your compassions, and this person's make mistake, okay, it's okay, forget it, like this. Then is everything's become peace, tolerant. That is changing perceptions. You don't need to change perception. Perception is not truly existence. You change in the kind of the inner perception. Inner your mind is changed, then externally automatically change. That is the development of your changing process.
Thank you. Stefan from St. Petersburg asks, Dalai Lama recites 6 syllables mantra. We add syllable Shri. What is the difference between these 2 Avalokiteshvara mantras? Why we add the syllable Shri?
Sure. Don't worry. Whatever you want. Generally, it's like Om Mani Padme Hum. It is 6 syllable mantra, but some in the say it's like Sh. Om Mani Padme Hum Sh. Sh is like, in the one you visualize, in the Avalokiteshvaras, in the middle, in the heart, there is a moon disk. In the middle, there is the representative of the Avalokiteshvara, letter Sh. Then Om Mani Padme Hum. Then you can to add the Sh. It says don't worry, that is no problem. Also Om Mani Padme Hum Sh is correct. Om Mani Padme Hum is correct. You so nice concerning. You're precise. All the Dharma you study become like this. What?
Thank you. Now we move on to questions from today's teachings.
Who is?
Laurent Cavallina.
Laurent.
Says, Rinpoche, maybe you will make fun of this question, but I will ask it anyway. The Buddha reached enlightenment in summer, I think. In summer, we have more energy than in winter. Can this be related? Thank you.
I don't want to give answer to you because you said you fun. I don't want to fun with you. I want to be serious, okay, Laurent? Next time you ask to me serious, though, I will give you serious.
Thank you. Terence Su asks, when are we allowed to learn Poa? Do we need to be qualified to receive Poa teaching? May only Lama give Poa during other sentient beings' dying process?
Now you study word of my perfect teacher very well, and then after you can to 1 week, 2 weeks, until your like science come, you can to learn. That don't worry. Then you can to learn your own without a teacher. Better don't learn. Okay.
Thank you. Daria asks, Rinpoche, is it possible really to recognize coming death signs? Sometimes it's easy to confuse real signs with panic attack or paranoia when a person thinks that he is going to die soon. If a person has not practiced Dharma but other religions, what does he see in Bardo? The same as Buddhists or kind of gods or others? So 2 questions.
And if you don't study the instruction, how you like 10 kind of signs coming for the death, surely we haven't got any signal, difficult to recognize. And because the impermanent is uncertainty, and therefore it is we don't know. It's like you need to learn to study. Okay. You study, you develop compassion, kindness, and to meditate on to nature of your realities. Surely you can to know about that. And it's to be in the Pardos. And doesn't matter Buddhist or the non-Buddhist. They have very much similarity appearances. And for example, if like we can to see together in this cup, and in the human realms, in the human beings, you are Muslims, or you are the Christianity, or you are Hindu, you are Buddhist. It doesn't matter. This appearance, there's no deviations. Everybody can to perceive. Yes. And then it's like say, I am Buddhist. Maybe this should to be changed. Oh, maybe you are like kind of Hinduism. You should to be changed. Not like this. Object, but it's changing inner like minds, whatever you have appearances, they according this like appearances.
Thank you. Question from Junko, Japanese translator. Can you please explain about sickness of Rahu? In the text, they call it sickness of Dza. In English, they translated as epilepsy, in a Chinese as stroke. It seems it's some sickness that happens because of influence of Rahu and connected to the brain nerves. Can you please give more explanation? Thank you.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Are you there? Okay. This is already also Masha, she asked to me. Okay, Lotsavala. In the word of my perfect teacher, I tend to say it's like a kind of, I think, za, tup. Za is the Rahula, tup is the, yesterday we say it's like a za tup, then it's like a nze. Nze is the, how do you call that? Yesterday there's the leprosy. It's nze. And zatap means it's like epilepsy is quite very good. And normally, of course, is the word is the Rahula. Trup is like kind of the this like problem, the channel. And this is like in the according the Tibetans like physiologies. And that is, we say, is like something happened very much kind of the spread or something like difficult to recognize the sickness, and particularly into the brain channel and inside connect to the bindus, and like this kind sort of, and this is we call the trip, and also it's like a kind of like this, but it's, you can to say epilepsy is quite very well. Other is like how to say chunmo. It's a similarity. It's like modern science. They like how to say, the medicine perspective. It is the chunmo, but also it's like someone hasn't got any chunmo. Chunmo, he said yes, chunmo and like in the brain. And Chinese is chunmo, but stroke. And someone hasn't got any stroke. Stroke means it's like something in the, in the brain doesn't work, something so. But it's like a stroke means you lost your like mind, don't remember, saying funny things. Of course you like this, but it's like someone has epilepsy, and when this epilepsy is suddenly coming, that we call the zag. That means rahula. Trup is like this sickness call. And the but is like maybe half an hour, maybe it's 20 minutes, 1 hour. This person's big problem, and get up from this sickness, it's okay, no problem. Someone has this kind of sickness, it's for life. And of course the sickness, but they never die, never like this. This is, you can call to the epilepsy, is like, maybe it's correct in the, I would to say English perspective. And this is like, sometimes it's a very strange sickness, but maybe it's if you control, if you manage very well, then you can to be long life. For example, stroke, it is a very, very, it's like, this is, you forgot it. Sometimes you make shit, you eat back yourself. And it's a stroke, it means it's like something chumo and something's coming. And like this is horrible. Anxiety, it's like, how do you say anxiety? Anxiety, no, it's like the Germanese language. Old, Alzheimer is old age sickness. It's this epilepsy is a similarity. This is very much like a kind of epilepsy. Epilepsy is like, epilepsy is normally, it's not very much forget it. It's just to suddenly it's coming, you shake, and then as you come back, you have all the memory normal. And the anxiety is like kind of the old age, some memory is slowly gone, then you forgot it like this. Therefore, I would to say it's better to use epilepsy.
Thank you. then, Amanda has one question. If we think all the time about all the sufferings in the realms, we can become very sad, I suppose. In that way, I suppose as well that it's better to keep the mind concentrated in being kind to others, help others, and wishing that the suffering of all sentient beings disappear without conceptualization. But I'm not sure if it's the right way. Can you please clarify my mind? Thank you.
To thinking other sentient beings is wonderful. Kindness, compassionate. To help other sentient beings, wonderful, very kind. And to pray to others, also wonderful. But how you can to help yourself? And how you change to yourself? How much you have compassion yourself? And how much you pray yourself in order to change? If we don't change, the samsara hurter, destroyer, maker of the problems we are, nothing else. We carry jealousy, we carry anger, we carry hatred, we carry disattachment, we carry the disturbing emotions, arigato gozaimasu, emotions. Then we are trouble to those sentient beings. If we become kind, compassionate, tolerant, and to have realization, insight yourself, then you become the source of the liberation. That is the best to pray to the others. That is the best you are helping to the others. That is the best generosity to others. Others has received such received the benefit, same as the Amanijaku and Tanukism.
Thank you, Rinpoche. This was the last question, and we would like to let you know that over 19 people are requesting you to extend these teachings. We are very happy for them, and we wish to continue. Thank you.
How many people?
19 so far.
Okay, love. Okay, then it's okay. How many days? No, 1 week. 1 week. Okay, love. 1 week. Not accounting tomorrow. Then I will divide it, my text. We can to continue, because also it's like I wanted to repeat again. For example, I'm living in here, Dharma city, Europe, in the middle of the English speaker. Yesterday I was in the swimming pool together. Some word I asked to them, even they said, we never heard. Maybe I would like to translate the Bemakara translations, fantastic academic way. Sometimes their word is very nice, important, but we are just to ice skating in the book, not much benefit. And of course, those lots of us is a lot of like kind of problems. And in this case, we can to repeat again and again. And also when we repeat more and more, then these words come into our mind. In the futures, it can support in order to learn Dharma. And therefore, I think we can to maybe divide it, that we can continue to study. I'll be very happy. And just this morning, some questions. Sometimes I have a little bit hesitations to teaching dharmas. I don't know. It's like a kind of I don't know. It's like once is in the Taiwan, and I have many there's friends, students kind of. They ask to me come to the Taiwan, and some in the years, I completely stopped. I never went to there. Of course, I love Taiwan. It's a beautiful country, Buddhist country. When I be there, it's also they taking care. I love very much. But there's so many lamas, so many teachings, so many everywhere. So then maybe some Taiwanese people urging, paying the air to, teaching. Then I was this kind of hesitating. Then these days, like all the times teaching, blah, blah, blah. But when I'm study with you, I'm very happy because also I learn a lot from you. Thanks. And then we stop there. Hyoncho sencho rumbo je ma she ba na she jurji she ba nyam ba me ba do kan e kan pera shos la ma ke je kon ro la me gu je nyama ma sha na Hian la je che jam be pi sem gun de la ne tenzo sen chen ne pa chen ye pa nyer de ne le ta jer chi and over ne na ma le pa ta dan jong wa me per shu ma lam ta da den ba to so ngo di jon re pa to Kandro sambo la so pa ni ji san don danger ji Cong dong la so ma xian la ji pen zi la ye ta hi ni jer te Dele samba ya yan de pardon Serine me de she dember sho Din sun du san sa be ge za gan ten ri sa wa me be ye shi Kur san yong da jen be je da ne ni le do fa jen Long I Kori Rarve Korve Shinkams Pendon Dewa Malun Jongwen Shen Ren Ziwon Tenzhen Jianzui Xiapi Senti Par the Danger